Mississippi, we are Black History. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Welcome back, wonderful souls, to Your Inner Child Matters, where we'll explore all aspects of relationships and emotional well-being. In today's video, we'll look at a topic that many of you have needed: relationships that have traumatized you. If you've ever felt the negative consequences of a toxic relationship, this video is for you. Let's jump right in.
Hey y'all, I'm Dr. Marielle Bouquet. I'm a licensed psychologist, and I would like to talk to you about the relationships that have traumatized you. Let's get into it. I'll break down some of the ways that an experience around post-traumatic relationship syndrome can be different from the experiences that a person might have in a regular breakup. While many people tend to be upset whenever a relationship ends, right? It's a loss, and you experience the loss and you go through the process of grieving. And so there are ways in which the relationship leaves you with some sort of baggage that you then have to reconcile emotionally, logistically, and in all other kinds of ways. However, when the relationship baggage extends to a place where it actually leaves you feeling really emotionally unwell in a profound way, and unwell to the extent that it actually leaves you with exhibiting trauma symptoms, then we know that it's veering in the direction of post-traumatic relationship syndrome, which is basically that experience that you had that almost mirrors PTSD, that is in direct connection to you having been in a relationship that has left you with this experience, because it has exhibited toxic traits, because there has been an element of abuse, even if it was verbal abuse and psychological abuse, even if it wasn't something that went in the realm of the physical types of abuse, it still is something that can leave you with that experience of having this immense hyperarousal, a lot of other experiences that are internal and also external that can actually hinder your capacity to be well within yourself, and also to transition into a future relationship in a way that you can actually practice healthy behaviors and healthy habits within that relationship. Something else that starts to happen is that some people believe that they don't necessarily have the capacity to choose a partner that can actually hold them in safety. And as a result, they believe that they don't have the capacity to see when toxic traits could be making their way into their relationship.
Wow. No, that's heavy. You already know it's a new week and a new topic. The VOR is back up in here. I might be suffering from this, Sugar Crisp. I got this topic from Sugar Crisp, that's not their real name, of course. That's just their handle in the YouTube chat. And I might have a touch of PTRS. What is PTRS? Post-traumatic relationship syndrome. A deeper look at post-traumatic relationship syndrome with my special guest. We had to do a part 2 from the show I did with her on her show here on KBLA Talk 1588 AM Pacific Standard Time. Sundays, right before she goes to church and ministers the word. Dr. Sunshine is in the building. Yeah.
Hey.
Are you ready for this topic tonight?
I don't know.
You
when we
always
talk
say that.
toxicity, you got to put your seatbelt on. Get ready to roll.
Man, I mean, this is heavy.
It's heavy, and because I'm sitting in with the voice of reason, I can never be quite sure where I'm going and what I'm going to get. So am I ready? I don't know, but my seatbelt is on.
Well, I got questions. And you already know this is a non-judgmental space. No judgment. All right? I want people to call in, share your story, share your experience. We will not judge it. We will listen with open ears and open hearts. But I got questions. Can emotional abuse, neglect, indifference, verbal abuse, severe avoidance, physical abuse, and narcissistic abuse cause PTRS in a significant other or spouse? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. I want to hear your story. Let's do it together. True or false? Post-traumatic relationship syndrome can occur in romantic relationships, but not in other types of relationships, such as friendships or family relationships. That's interesting. I don't know. True or false? Is that right or wrong? I don't know. What are the common symptoms of PTRS? How does PTRS affect a person's ability to form new relationships? Eesh. I was told to wait.
Who told you that?
You? I was told, hey, sit down, son. Sit down.
I'm sure that's not the language I used.
That wasn't the language, but it was sit down. Hey, post up for a minute. Wow. True or false? PTRS can... Oh, I already read that one. Can PTRS be treated And if so, what are some effective treatment approaches? I would like to know what that is. And how does PTRS impact a person's ability to communicate effectively in new relationships? Well, my friend, your friend, our sister is in the building. Can we just clear it up for folk right now? What exactly is PTRS?
PTRS, the woman in the intro did a wonderful job. It is the aftermath of having been in an unhealthy relationship. Oftentimes, though, a very toxic one. A very toxic relationship. And toxicity can happen for, a plethora of reasons. And there are many ways that toxicity can show up in a relationship. But it's when you finally find the strength, muscle up the courage to step outside of that relationship and put it in your rear view mirror. The healing, the aftermath. It's the aftermath. Before you get to the healing, it's the aftermath right there. After having been in one of those relationships. Have you ever been in one of those? Fill in the blank. What is those? Those. We all know what I mean. Have you ever been in one of those relationships?
One of those.
Yeah. It's the aftermath of that.
So let's go deeper. What is the purpose of one of those relationships?
What is the purpose of it?
Yeah, why? Why do we go through those?
Okay, so that's actually an interesting question, a very curious question. I've never thought of it in the way that you're framing it. But I must say that there is, if you are willing to look for it, exert the energy to find it, there's always something wonderful that you can grab from anything. I think if we're going to go for loose hanging fruit first, then in that type of relationship, you should walk out knowing what you don't want. Because most people go into relationships with a list of things that they do want, and they are not clear about what they don't want. But after having been in one of those, usually people come out saying, well, I don't want A, B, and C. I don't ever want to experience, feel, deal with that again.
And this is where I push back. I'm always going to push back.
Come on. It reminds me of the escapism. It reminds me a lot of that. I feel like the pushback is going to mirror or line up with the escapism. It's going in, looking for what you can take in out from another person. But I say this is about self-reflection. Is what you're going to get out of the experience.
And I think
for yourself.
Attila is listening to you, and she's in the chat, Attila Phillips. I expect to hear from all my people in a minute, 1-800-920-1580. But Attila says you become very clear. I'm going to push back on that too.
Okay, you become very clear. You can gain more clarity.
I believe that.
I believe that as well. I think she's on to something there. Her statement is wide, but she could be on to something.
Yes, but I believe most people are spiritually immature.
Well, I think on the surface, I agree, but you want to unpack that a little bit?
Yeah. Relationships are inherently spiritual, and most people do not look at relationships from a spiritual lens.
Okay.
They look at it from a lens of, there are outcomes in this person that I want. I think this person lines up with my belief systems, and I can get something. Most people come into the relationship looking to get.
I do agree with that.
They look to get.
I do agree with that. And I'm going to tell you something else that we agree on. Before we even get there, I'm going to tell you we agree. I do believe that you have to do the you work before entering a relationship, or at least understand the you work when you're approaching the relationship. The whole time you're in the relationship, you should be thinking about the you stuff when you find yourself in conflict in the relationship. So I'm going to go ahead and beat you to that point because I do agree with that.
Fundamentally, we agree on everything. I just can't make it look like that.
Okay.
But,
I think it's sometimes the way we express it or parse it out.
yes, but I will say this too. I don't think you can be clear-minded if you're still haunted by wounds from the past.
Well,
So,
I'm going to agree. I don't know
yes.
if you can be haunted and clear
That's what I'm saying.
at the same time.
So most people are like little kids, children, babies, infant. We move toward that which feels good and away from that which doesn't.
Yes.
So many people come out of these toxic relationships not clear-minded, but actually jaded and fearful.
Which leans into one of the questions you asked, and now I don't remember which one, but it definitely leans into those are the things that hinder you when you're moving in, when you want to move on to other relationships.
There it is right there. True or false? No. How does PTS impact a person's ability to engage in self-reflection and personal growth? That's number one.
Mm-hmm.
True or false? PTS can manifest as a fear of vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
and a tendency to isolate oneself from others. That's jaded.
That's jaded.
So when I hear people go right to the, oh, I'm clear-minded. No, you're clear about what hurts you.
I'm going to agree. Listen, Zoe, we're going to have to disagree on something. Come, bring me something else. I came here to disagree. I 100% agree with that.
And I think most people in the dating pool
Okay.
are suffering from PTRS, post-traumatic relationship syndrome.
Okay.
I believe that.
I believe that. And I believe it's wider than the dating pool. I think it's relational.
It's family,
Yes.
because that's where our attachment styles come from, correct?
Family, and we walk them out first inside of our family structure.
Ooh, Lord.
Before you walk out of the front door and get into an intimate or romantic partnership,
Mhm.
you've been in a ship with your family member,
How about it?
which, however you want to label the ship.
So this post-traumatic relationship syndrome can it be passed down generationally?
Yes.
Ooh, well.
Yes.
Hey, we got work to do tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The voice of reason on a Monday night upside your dome piece on your way home from Jones Beach. I'm sitting in here with Dr. Sunshine. When I come forward, we got more questions. And hopefully, y'all will get on the phone lines and let's get busy.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Trash, sleaze, class, nasty, put some clothes on, I told you. Don't walk out your house without your clothes on, I told you. Girl, what you thinking about looking that toe down, I told you. These men don't want no hot female that's been around the block female. You nasty girl, nasty, put some clothes on, I told you. Don't walk out your house without your clothes on, I told you. Girl, what you thinking about looking that toe down, I told you. These men don't want no hot female that's been around the block female. You nasty girl. Shaking that thing on that man, looking all stinking nasty. You swear you look cute, girl in them dukes, booty all I look at trashy. Sleazy, put some clothes on, I told you. Don't walk out your easy without clothes on, I told you. You nasty girl, you nasty, you trashy, you classless girl. You sleazy, you freaky. I ain't never met a girl that does the thing that you do. Change don't come your way, it will come back to you. Put some clothes on, I told you. Don't walk out your house without your clothes on, I told you. Girl, what you thinking about looking that toe down, I told you.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Romani. Welcome back to this YouTube channel that takes on narcissism and antagonism and all kinds of relationships and people with those sorts of styles. So many times when we talk about narcissistic abuse, it takes us to a conversation about complex trauma, right? This is where we get, or complex post-traumatic disorder. The challenge I was encountering is that while some people who have experienced narcissistic abuse do show patterns consistent with complex post-traumatic stress, others do not. It appears to relate to the severity of the narcissistic abuse, how long it lasted, the developmental impacts, for example, if it occurred during childhood with a parent, though we're also likely to see it in long-term intimate partner settings, long-term committed relationships characterized by severe emotional abuse, or long-term domestic violence situations, especially those characterized by coercive control. What appears to be the case, though, and we're finding this in some of the research we're doing, is that the two, complex post-trauma and narcissistic abuse, are not synonymous. Narcissistic abuse, or I also talk about it when I'm teaching therapists about it, is antagonistic relationship abuse and antagonistic relationship stress, and complex post-traumatic stress are not the same thing. So I recently had the absolute pleasure of talking with someone named Dr. Ingrid Clayton recently. She's here in Los Angeles, and she's written an extraordinary memoir that's called Believing Me, Healing from Narcissistic Abuse and Complex Trauma. And the way she positioned it, and as she shares her story in this book, was she called it complex trauma resulting from narcissistic abuse. And I was like, that's it, that captured it. Complex trauma can have multiple origins. In general terms, complex trauma results from repetitive, chronic, long-term trauma, such as childhood abuse. Complex PTSD may be brought about by a person experiencing recurring or long-term traumatic events, for example, child abuse in any form, neglect during childhood, being subjected to domestic violence, human trafficking, or protracted and traumatic refugee experiences. Complex trauma often grows out of childhood trauma.
See, this is why this is so important. Welcome back to the VOR. We've come full circle after having come forward live from KBLA Talk 1580 in the heart of Leimert Park. I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, sitting here with none other than Dr. Sunshine, a.k.a. Shalonda K. Crawford, Side up in here. And I love having these conversations because you hear people, first off, relationships are part of the human condition. So everybody's opinion about relationships matter. Why? Because they have a direct experience of it.
Yes.
But sometimes it's anecdotal and it's superficial. So you hear, narcissism is being used too much. But I'm saying, unless you're PsyD, or unless you're reading books by PsyDs or LMFTs or LCSWs, unless you're diving into this work, you just tired of hearing the word. But you don't really understand people with narcissistic traits versus someone who is a clinically diagnosed narcissist with MPD. Right? There's a difference because everybody has some variation of narcissistic traits.
Everyone.
Right? But when we start digging into where this stuff is coming from, we're going back to John Bowlby, attachment theory, right? And the primary caregiver and this, if they missed an opportunity to nurture, if they missed an opportunity to acknowledge, if they missed an opportunity to comfort, you potentially could develop a maladaptive attachment style. Correct?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay. So now, look at this topic. Post-traumatic relationship syndrome. In recent years, the concept of post-traumatic relationship syndrome, PTRS, has gained attention within the field of psychology. When we come forward, the phone lines are absolutely lit right now.
Oh, are they?
And we're going to dig deep into this topic because I believe many people are suffering from it. Let's do it.
When she gets what you should let it go. Nasty, put some clothes on. Really toe down. Nasty, don't know why you will not sit down. You on your feet, swear she's in heat. Flirting with every man she sees. Her friends singing low, she never say no. Everyone knows she's easy. Nasty, put some clothes on.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Kansas City Mayor Quentin Lucas, who is black, is recommending there be no school Wednesday so that everyone can attend the city's Super Bowl victory parade. The Kansas City Chiefs won their third Super Bowl title in 5 years over the weekend. They are the first team to win back-to-back NFL championships in almost 20 years. When the Chiefs won last year, close to 1 million people flooded downtown streets for a victory parade and rally. Farmington Public School parents in Michigan are voicing frustrations after an alleged incident involving a teacher using a racial slur was reported. East Middle School principal Drew LaCroix sent a letter to families at the end of January saying a teacher used an anti-black slur repeatedly while explaining to students the language was not appropriate. The Farmington African American Parent Network spoke at a school board meeting this month with many parents expressing frustration, disappointment, and anger over the issue. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
If you like using debit over credit, shouldn't you also get rewarded? Well, now you can with Discover Cashback Debit. It's a checking account that rewards everyone with cash back on everyday purchases with no fees, period. Check out eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashbackdebit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, As the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black History. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your Black.
City of Los Angeles landlords that own rent-controlled properties, you are now able to increase rents by 4% for your rent-controlled properties. An extra 1% per utility up to 6% can be added only if you pay the entire gas and electric bill. And don't forget to give your tenant an advance 30-day written notice for rent increases of less than 10%. It is state law. Learn more about the rent increase at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
Listen up, City of Los Angeles renters that live in rent-controlled units. Landlords can now increase your rent by 4%. Know these 3 facts. The rent increase is allowed February 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2024. An extra 1% per utility up to 6% can be added if the landlord pays the entire gas and electric bill. And illegal rent increase complaints can be filed at housing.lacity.org. Check if you live in a rent-controlled unit and learn more at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Just had a fight with my woman. over something trivial told. We rarely have confrontation. Admit the I said really was bold. I think she get it from my mama. Her bitterness passed down from old. When I'm calling out her drama, she too defensive to listen, I'll call so. Looking at, I got problems. You got the type of advice that I need. I couldn't get through on the mention series. Dana was hogging up the time that I need. Between working or being so clingy, plus the time zone difference don't make it more easy. Oh, so I figured I'd call in early, turn my life down, mercy, I got through. You tuned in, yeah. For City is the show. Yeah. For City is the show. So just lay back your mind, something new. Everybody tuning in the zone. Cause he is the reason, yeah.
Women empowerment, and atafute kazi, apate kazi ndio asihitaji mwanaume maishani mwake. You know, that's also part of trauma, isn't it?
That's a lot of trauma, and that trauma happens especially while growing up. You know, we are told that we all learn by imitation. So at times you see what is happening and you know this is how life should be. And when a child comes to this earth, the first teachers are parents. So when they see the parents fighting every day, they feel like, I do not want to get into that part of my life. It's like a part of their lives they want to escape because it has pain, it has tears, it has aggression, and it has stress. So what happens as they're growing up, if nobody comes to change that school of thought, then they get into adulthood knowing all men are like this. And if it's a boy whose mom used to be beaten, they all grow up, whose dad used to be beaten. They all grow up knowing all women are aggressive.
Right.
So what happens, for them, they don't do it because they are bad. They do it because they are cushioning themselves from that hurt and from that pain.
Yeah.
And unless they meet somebody who can be like a role model and tell them, no, it works, and they see it actually working, most of them now get a different mindset.
Yeah.
And the mindset is...
Man, they having this conversation all over the country. Africa, talking about post-traumatic relationship syndrome. Lord have mercy. I'm in here with Dr. Sunshine, Shalonda K. Crawford, Side D. Of course, she has her own show here on KBLA Talk 1580, 8 a.m. Sunday mornings. It's an amazing show. I just did her show. This is virtually a part 2 of the show we did on her timetable. Now she's here dealing with me. We've got callers all on the line right now. Do you want to talk to some of these folks?
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited to hear what the folks have to say.
All right, here we go. Maya from Los Angeles. Get in here.
Maya.
I'm up in here. Hi, Zoe.
Hey,
Hi,
hey.
Dr. Sunshine.
Hey, girl.
Okay, first and foremost, thank you for letting me call in and tell you this. I'm going to try to sum this story up because it's a lot. I feel like in the past, I suffered from the post-traumatic relationship syndrome because of the individual that I was with was emotionally and verbally abusive. And when we ended that relationship, and I, dated a few people after that, and anytime they did something that remotely resembled what he did, I would fly off the handle. So in saying that, I started noticing these different behaviors that I didn't like about myself. So I decided to go to therapy, did therapy, discovered some things that actually happened in my childhood, that manifested, of course, in adulthood, and all that to say, addressing that, I had a new mindset. This is going to sound weird. That same person that I was in a relationship with. So if I may say, I was in a relationship with that person for almost 9 years, the first time. the last person he cheated on me with, yes, the first time. Don't judge me.
Never.
The last person that he cheated on me with, he ended up marrying that person. Side note to that whole 9 years, we were engaged. We never got married. But this other person he decided to marry. He was with that person for about 5-6 years. And then that didn't work out. And we actually ended up back together. Time 2. Okay. And he was displaying some better behaviors. So I was like, okay, I'll give it a chance. You know, it seems like it's right. That time frame lasted about 3 or 4 years. And then he decided he found someone else that he wanted to go be with, and he was with that person. He was with that person for a few years, and we are back in a relationship now.
Ooh, okay,
glutton for punishment.
Hold on, Maya.
Yeah.
Hold on. See, hold on. I'm going to give you mine, and then I'm going to let Dr. Sunshine give you her.
Yeah, let me come last. I want to throw sunshine at it.
Gosh. Okay. Do you know what your name means, Maya?
Ooh, I don't. I'm so curious.
It means illusion. In Russian.
Wait, illusion in what?
It means illusion.
In Russian.
No. Not in Russian. Sanskrit. Now, you have to understand Sanskrit and Russian and English, all of these languages are connected. Greek, all of these languages. Indo-European languages. That's where they come from.
Okay.
It's a Sanskrit word. Maya means illusion. And in your case, delusion.
The Delulu is not the Delulu.
No, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. Clearly, you guys have a bond. It could be a trauma bond. It could be a soul tie. It could be a few different things. And I'm not mad at the getting back together part. What I'm mad at is, have you guys individually done the work necessary in order to stay together?
That's a good question.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So
because the falling apart.
Let me answer.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I was going to say, to answer your question, I have, but I'm dealing with someone that will not.
So here's the big thing that I heard. As you were breaking down your story, the thing that just blared out at me is when you went back the second time, you saw that there were some behaviors that were better in him. He was behaving better.
It definitely was.
He was behaving better. So you went back looking for him, for change and difference in him. And I understand that you had been to therapy and you had done some work, but the new you went back with new expectations for him.
Which means that's not the new her.
Yeah, she went back to the old her.
She
dragged the old her back into the new her.
Right.
I mean,
because if it's new through and through.
Yeah.
It's not new on the surface.
So when you did your work, was there ever a wondering about the work that he did while you were separate?
It was never a wonder because honestly, I can say he never sought any type of therapy or work. So he as far as I know, he never did.
Yeah, I mean, we can take this 150 different ways, but as you separated, you guys separated for whatever reason, and you went and did some discovery. You were enlightened about you, and then you went back to a person that did not do any discovery, perhaps even in a relationship, doubling down on some of the issues. And so the new you, was dragged back into the old you.
Well, I would say there was never a new her.
Okay, we can argue that.
We
can argue that, yeah.
Right, because at the end of the day, if you think you getting better can make them get better,
Yes, and I think that I'm arriving at that same place in a different way. Yeah. But I also feel like a new you, how can I put this? I want to throw sunshine on it.
Attracted to the old him. That's it.
I want to say this in.
You just got to say it.
So
I want to say this.
Okay, so oh my God. So yeah, I get that because I ask myself these same questions. So what I found funny, and I don't know if it was the reason we were supposed to reconnect. Every time we reconnected, he was a component in elevating me to the next level in some area of my life.
Okay, wait, hold that thought. When we come forward, we going back to LA. Boy, when LA show up, it show up with a bang.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
The first time I tried to quit vaping, I told myself that it was like a mountain that I had to climb over. And once I got to the other side, it would be clear. But I couldn't make it over. What really got me to quit was my little sister. I saw her vaping. So I was back in the mountain, but this time, she was up there with me. It's weird what you can do for others that you won't do for yourself.
Every attempt is part of your story to quit for good. Visit Kick It California today at kickitca.org.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Some people just know the best places to eat around town. Those are the people who know to choose Allstate. They know exactly where to go to get exactly what you're wanting. They know where to find the spiciest hot pot, the gooeyest brownies, and the tenderest, most flavorful portobello steak. Those people also know that safe drivers save 40% with Allstate.
Saving 40% is based on the national average premium savings for Allstate auto customers with a clean driving record versus those without. Savings vary by state and vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Single Moms Planet is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting under-resourced single mom business owners and working mothers nationwide. Single Moms Planet offers comprehensive programs of financial literacy, business development, mentorship, and entrepreneurial training. They provide education, accountability, and hope. Single Moms Planet was founded by model, TV personality, and producer Nefertiri Plessy. Nefertiri felt firsthand the challenges that face single moms as she was raised by a working single mother. She learned that the most disadvantaged group in the United States are single mom families. According to the U.S. Census, 30% live under the poverty line. So she decided to do something about it, along with co-founder Cole Patterson. Their goal is to end the poverty cycle in single mother households through education, opportunity, and networking, providing family and child enrichment programs for under-resourced single-parent families. Single Moms Planet serves over 10,000 single moms and their children each year. Studies show that business development and financial literacy provide a positive environment for children and families, exposing them to new possibilities and opportunities. To attend one of their fun events, make a donation, or get more information, or if you need help as a single mom, please visit singlemomsplanet.org. That's singlemomsplanet.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
My playlist is my co-host. Yeah. When's the last time you heard our girl, Toni Braxton? We got a fire conversation going on tonight. Me and Dr. Sunshine, a.k.a. Shalonda K. Crawford, Side D. We're cooking in here. Great topic. We're talking about post-traumatic relationship syndrome. It's a real thing, apparently. And we have Maya on the line from Los Angeles. Maya, please get in here and give us your final thought on this.
Yeah, like I was saying before the break, it sounds crazy to me that we are in this in and out type of relationship, and we've been doing this for over 20 years.
Oh.
Yeah. But again, I say if I had to analyze the entire time, every time we got back together, he had a key component in something that elevated me to another level in some way, shape, or form. So I don't know if that's the reason. It's like he needs to be in my life at that time for certain things to happen. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I can't explain it.
So I'm going to come with the spiritual stuff, and Doc is going to hit you with the clinical.
The rationalization.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Right. So the spiritual stuff, you guys, like I said, you guys might be, this might be a past life relationship where you guys have been together before. You guys could have what they call a, no, seriously.
She said,
And I believe all of this stuff, right? You guys could be a karmic relationship, which tends to be a little dramatic and toxic because there's lessons being exchanged. But there's definitely a bond there. Now, the clinical side might say it's trauma bonding.
Well, I mean, it could be, and I don't know anything about the past lives. I'm gonna get some school. I don't know. I want to say this. There is a thing, and I'm gonna just make it plain and simple. Rationalization is real, and so the more you feel like you feel some type of way. You feel some type of way because you've gone back into this relationship 3 times. And so each time you re-enter the relationship, you feel some type of way. And so what you do, and not just you, it's what we do when we're entering situations that we feel some type of way about, we rationalize why it's okay to be in it. So I would wonder if you're really evolving as in response to the relationship. I mean, you took a different route. I think we agree, but sometimes we get there on a different road. So I think sometimes we do that. So that would be my question. Here's a curious question. When you were separate, were you in communication the whole time or to some degree? So the 9 years you were separated, did you not have any communication with him the whole 9 years or maybe here and there? What was that?
We had, I would say constant communication because we have a daughter together.
Okay. Okay.
And then there's that.
And then there's that.
And then there's that.
That's actually a big and then there. That's a big wild card.
Yeah. But Maya, I'm just going to say this now. Dr. Shalonda put it in a nutshell. You convincing yourself to ignore all of the work you've done and ignore all of the work he hasn't done. So really, this is all on you. Now, I can see y'all getting back together if you understood, oh, he's been putting in the work too.
Yeah, you actually have a motivator.
Now it's this thing is going to be even better than it was before because I was off somewhere working on myself. He was off somewhere. No, you had to tell yourself, this feels familiar. And I'd rather have familiar, the known,
than the unknown. I was going to say the same thing. And I'd be curious.
Okay.
I know we can't unpack all night, but I would be curious to know the third time. What was the magnet the third time?
I like him. I want's what I want.
No. I can't even explain it to you to where you would actually understand.
Yeah.
The only thing I can tell you is he made the comment that we're getting back together. I said no, but in my spirit of spirits, I felt like I think we are I wasn't looking for him. I wasn't, oh my God, I want to be back. None of that. I was on a whole different journey looking for something else.
So I heard a song that said, I have to go through it with somebody.
Might as well be you.
And I choose that somebody is you. So maybe, perhaps, that's what you're describing. You're describing.
She said her spirit told her.
That's what
I
she
started
said.
it off.
That's what she said.
I said it was a spiritual connection.
And so I got to go through it. I'm choosing you.
Come on, Maya. I love you for calling. I love you for being so transparent.
Yeah, I do.
I appreciate you. But I will suggest you reach out to Dr. Shalonda and set up one more little session. And, get a little refresher course, okay? I appreciate you.
323-902-7577. Call me, girl.
Please call her.
323
902-7577.
All right, Maya, guess what you just did?
What did she just do?
Maya, do you know what you just did?
What did I just do?
You just brought Los Angeles in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call us at 1-800-920-1580. We're on fire tonight. Let me do this really quickly. KBLA Talk 1580 is your election information station, and we just released our first survey of Black LA County voters. The groundbreaking results highlight a wide-open LA County district office race, district attorney's office race, plus the Black community's view on crime, criminal justice, and other key issues that are not being addressed by the DA candidates. Heavy stuff, right? To see the unique results of our very first political poll of likely Black voters in LA County, please hit up our website at KBLA1580.com. That's KBLA1580.com. While you're there, check out the rundown of all the candidates that we have interviewed to date, and you should take a moment to fill out our climate justice survey. No talk station, and I mean no talk station in Southern California, is covering this important election like we are. At KBLA, you better believe it, we got your Black. Now, I'm sorry. I was finna keep going. Anyway, Truemonger from Dallas, Texas. Attila from Houston, Texas. I want to hear some more from Los Angeles. The phone lines are open. Me and Dr. Shalonda Crawford, we are in here cooking. Tonight's topic, post-traumatic relationship syndrome. Oh, Lord, wait till you hear my story. When we come forward, more from the VOR.